What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Rant, where each week we'll bring you guys kind of an unfiltered reaction and our opinions about that week's edition of Monday Night Raw. So let's get right into it. Last night's Raw took place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is hometown to Raw General Manager Kurt Angle, and it was no better way to open the show than to have Kurt Angle's music hit and to the fans have a standing ovation for the Raw General Manager. So as Kurt Angle was giving a basic rundown of the show, what fans should expect with a triple threat match, a match between Bayley and Nia Jax, he announced Brock Lesnar's music hit, and the place went crazy. No one was expecting this to happen, and it was a very big shock factor, which made this segment must watch. As Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar told General Manager Kurt Angle why they were there, Paul Heyman informed Kurt Angle that if Brock Lesnar were to lose the Universal Championship at SummerSlam in the Fatal 4-Way match, that he would be leaving WWE. Now, this goes along with the real life storyline that Brock Lesnar is interested in a return to the Octagon for the UFC, and WWE is doing a great job of capturing this real life storyline and placing it into their own storyline with Brock Lesnar threatening to leave the company. So I think WWE officials are doing a great job with this storyline as of last night, and they need to continue this momentum going forward. Now we're going to talk about probably the worst segment of the night, which was the main event, Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo Amore in his corner. Now, Monday Night Raw is known to be the A show with stars such as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. You would expect that the main event were to be must watch and can't miss. But in last night's case, Big Show versus Big Cass has happened on numerous occasions over the past month, and to have that be the main event of a Raw that was primarily there to be a build for SummerSlam, it was a big letdown for some of the fans that were there and to some of the fans watching, including myself as well, because it left kind of a sour taste in my mouth about how the night could have gone. WWE could have had the triple threat match go on last and potentially had Brock Lesnar interfere just to send the fans home happy, but they decided to have Big Show versus Big Cass in a very slow, very forgetful match, and fans were very, very unhappy with the way that Raw ended last night. And it's no coincidence that this is a repeat match, which is one of Raw's problems. So another high point from last night would be the interaction with Seth Rollins and the tag team champions Sheamus and Cesaro. Now, over the past, as we mentioned, in our last Fast Five video, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have been teasing kind of a Shield reunion as of late, and Seth Rollins had an altercation with Sheamus and Cesaro in backstage, and a match was scheduled for Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. Now, after the match, Seth Rollins won via a roll-up pin, and Cesaro instantly attacked him from behind, and it was a two-on-one assault until Dean Ambrose made this save. Now, this was great storytelling for WWE because after this segment, there was a backstage interaction between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose said that Seth Rollins did this on purpose because he knew that it would make Dean Ambrose look bad if he didn't go out and help Seth Rollins in a two-on-one situation. So WWE is doing a very good job of teasing this kind of friendship, reunion, but not really friendship situation with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and it needs to continue on into SummerSlam, where they should face the Raw Tag Team Champions Sheamus and Cesaro, and it looks like WWE is going to go that route with the match that we saw last night and the altercations that we saw last night. So another low point of last night would be the lack of women's wrestling on the show. The only women's match on the show was Nia Jax versus Bayley and Alexa Bliss on commentary, and that is not good enough for the A show and the show that has the most talented divas on in WWE's roster. And the match itself was very, very boring. Bayley won via countout because she dodged a shoulder tackle of Nia Jax outside the ring. And after the match, she avoided an altercation with Alexa Bliss. So I just think that WWE is doing a poor job with its women's division for the Monday Night Raw roster, and if it doesn't improve on the build to SummerSlam, we could see a major overhaul after post SummerSlam with potential NXT divas being called up, or even another superstar shakeup, having superstars like Naomi or Natalia, let's say, transferred from SmackDown to Raw. But we'll have to see what happens there. And finally, the last highlight of the night would be the triple threat match. Now, some people aren't happy with the outcome, Roman Reigns getting the victory here, but it's good storytelling for WWE to have Roman Reigns finally be able to knock off Samoa Joe, who's been unable to defeat since Joe made his debut earlier this year. And in doing so, it protected Braun Strowman from taking a pinfall loss, so it made him look strong. And Braun Strowman did end up standing tall in the ring as Roman Reigns retreated to the locker room after the match. So WWE is doing a very good job of pushing people at the right time for this feud, the Fatal 4-Way match, and knowing who to give the win and who not to take the loss. And other than that, no Brock Lesnar in this situation. It could have, if Brock got involved in this match, it would have been the number one highlight of the night. Brock Lesnar would have torn through everyone in the ring, and it would have been just a sight to see. It would have sent fans, like I said, if it was the main event, it would send fans home with a smile on their face. But WWE dropped the ball there, but it still winds up being the number 3 highlight of the night, which you can't ask for much more than that on a loaded Monday Night Raw roster. And we're going to have one last low point of the night, which was the Miz TV segment. Now, I know fans are a little disappointed with the Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son angle that was revealed 2 weeks ago as Kurt Angle's big secret. Fans were, including us, were hoping that it was going to set up a match between Kurt Angle and Triple H potentially at SummerSlam. But WWE decided to push Jason Jordan into this role, and now it looks like they're going to push him into Intercontinental Championship match against The Miz at SummerSlam. Now, the segment itself was great. It made Jason Jordan look strong. It made The Miz seem like the heel that he's always been and just hated by he made his opening remark, and when he started Miz TV, saying how much he hated Pittsburgh, and he's always been one of the best heels in the company. But I think that it's too early to push Jason Jordan into a title match against one of the best in the company in The Miz, and it's too soon to take the Intercontinental Championship off of The Miz, as are the plans at SummerSlam to have Jason Jordan beat The Miz for the title. The Miz is on the best run of his career over the last year and a half, and most of it has to do with him elevating the Intercontinental Championship to more of a legitimate level and kind of the number 1 title on Monday Night Raw since Brock Lesnar isn't around with the Universal Championship. So I don't know if Jason Jordan is ready for that spotlight to be hoisted upon him and have everyone just all eyes on him having to defend one of the most prestigious titles in WWE history night in and night out. I don't think he's ready for that yet. In my opinion, I think he's ready for a match with The Miz and to have a program with The Miz, but at SummerSlam, I think he needs to lose that match and potentially win it down the road sometime, maybe at or Clash of Champions, maybe even wait and hold off until Survivor Series. I don't think he's ready. I think WWE is hoisting him into a role that he's just not fit for as of right now, but give him some time and he can definitely develop into a top babyface in the company. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Raw Rant. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and tune in next week to our second episode of Raw Rant, where we will discuss, again, the high points and low points of Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching.